Hello, Paula here from Tessera Virtual Business Solutions, and I'm going to answer a question for you today. What is Asana and why should I use it? If what I share with you today helps you, please like this video and subscribe to our channel for more help in becoming more efficient, productive, and collaborative in your work. Perhaps you've heard of Asana from a friend or a colleague, or you've seen some videos related to Asana, but you're not exactly sure what it is or why you might want to take a closer look. I'll not only share what Asana is in this video, but how it has transformed the work that I'm able to do in my small business. So, what is it? Asana is a work management tool. Some speak of Asana as a project management tool or a task manager, and they're not wrong. But if you are using Asana simply to manage individual projects or keep a detailed to do list, you're missing out on some important pieces of the equation. As a work management tool, Asana coordinates all work on your plate. It pulls together specific projects and processes, and it allows them to live in a single space, giving you a single source of truth and next actions for you and everyone you work alongside. So, when running a business, a work management tool is absolutely necessary. Why use Asana? Well, recent studies show that knowledge workers, those who spend their days handling information, spend close to 60% of their time on work about work. So, what is work about work? Well, that would be the things that you do before doing the actual work you should be doing to grow your business. This could be looking through email, searching for documents, looking for status updates about projects, scanning spreadsheets for information, or asking team members questions. Of course, this means that the actual work that moves a business forward, strategic planning, creating, marketing, selling, those things only get about 40% of the time in your day. So this begs the question, how can I personally organize my work so that I can flip the script and move the numbers even higher? Perhaps even shooting for 80% of my work being this actual work that moves the needle and 20% of it being the work about work. Researchers have also found that for the average worker, 3 working weeks per year are spent on duplicated work, and 3 working weeks per year are spent on unnecessary calls and meetings. That means that 6 weeks of your year could be recovered if the processes that you use are improved. Perhaps you look at this research and wholeheartedly agree, but you just don't know how to get around the facts and make a change to how you manage your workload. That's where Asana comes in. There are 2 very important pieces of the puzzle that all businesses must have in order to function and grow. The first is documentation. This is the place that you create and maintain and store all the documentation that the business needs to survive. For most businesses in the 21st century, this typically means a cloud-based drive, such as a Google Drive. It's a place where documents, spreadsheets, presentations, and videos live until they're needed. The second large piece of the puzzle is a way to communicate with your team members and your clients about the work. For most businesses, this is typically email or maybe Slack or another messaging system. It's important to note that using Asana will not eliminate or replace either of these essential pieces. It won't replace the documentation piece, nor will it replace the communication piece. Instead, Asana links these essential pieces together to form a smooth and streamlined platform to manage all the work. Perhaps you've experienced what I have when working with a cloud-based drive. I find that the drive quickly becomes a huge mess of unorganized files, a dumping ground of sorts. In my experience, if you're lucky and persistent, or maybe both, you might be able to search for a document that you know is in there somewhere. Or perhaps you have your own personal organizational system to find the documents that you need the most. However, your disorganized teammate can never find what they need, and you spend your valuable time helping them find the needed documents. Does this scenario sound familiar? When your teammate needs to collaborate, you receive an email with questions or information about the work with a couple of others CC'd. That email soon becomes an email thread that is hard to follow as the work progresses. At some point, someone on the email thread sends a Slack message related to the joint work. So you're tracking conversations now in 2 places. keeping up with the conversation about the work quickly goes off track. Both a place for documents to live and a place to communicate about your work are essential to running a successful business. Asana streamlines your work by acting as a link between both of these pieces. When you use Asana to link each piece of your work together, you will add documents or links to them right on the projects and tasks in Asana. In addition, Asana gives you a place directly on the tasks to ask questions, provide comments, link to other work, and even celebrate when the work is completed. This means that you have everything you need to complete the work in one place. And you have a history of how and when the work was completed. Everyone involved in the work has direct access to this information, providing a clear and transparent view of where the work stands. I want to share with you now the top 6 reasons real users that I've worked with in Asana, actually choose to use Asana. The first one is work is scattered across many places. Documentation and communication happen across many platforms, causing you to stop and start multiple times. You can never get into a good flow of work because you have to leave where you are to search for something that you need. Number 2, people work in silos. Working in silos can spell disaster. Workers are unsure of what other people are doing and if they are duplicating the work of others. Having a single source of truth for how the work is progressing eliminates the feeling of siloed work. Number 3, there is a lack of clarity on who is doing what by when. This causes stress for the person who is ultimately responsible for the final outcome. Number 4, there is a lack of clarity on how my work relates to the full project. Perhaps I have a few tasks to complete to move the full project forward, but I'm unsure how and where my tasks fit into the full picture. Seeing the full body of work in Asana gives me that view. Number 5, work is falling through the cracks. Small pieces of work can easily be missed. Seeing the full scope and having my part assigned to me eliminates that possibility. And number 6, there is a need to streamline repeated work. All businesses have processes, whether they are written out or in the head of those who do the work. Once the process is written, it can easily be templated in Asana to cut the time needed to do the task and make sure that it is done in a uniform way each time it is needed. So as you can see, Asana is a work management platform. It's not a simple project management system, nor is it a glorified to-do list. When well set up and used consistently, it has the capability to turn your inefficiencies into streamlined workflows that will increase your productivity more than you ever thought possible. Go ahead and create an Asana account and see how using Asana can change how you work. When you're ready for some help, I've got a great course that you can enroll in, the Asana Simplified course. I will link that below, or you can get in touch with us at tesseravbs.com and we can steer you in the right direction. Thank you for tuning in. And if you'd like to work with us one-on-one or you have other questions I can answer, I'll link to my website below, tesseravbs.com, and you can get in touch with me there.